Yo, it's your boy Marcus from Morsini, and I'm back with another video. Today, I'm going to be doing a video to help people who are struggling with DMZ, whether it's hitting legendary or, you have bad connection and it's hard to play the mode, or, you don't really know how to play the mode, or you have no money right now in the mode because you've died so many times. Now you're out of money. If you're in any of these boats where you're struggling in any regard, this right here is going to help you get out of that hole or improve or hit legendary, whatever the case might be. I made a video about this strategy before, but I think this video and this gameplay here will more accurately depict, in a way, how to execute this strategy better. So, or at the bare minimum. I mean, at the bare minimum of this strategy, that's what this gameplay is. This is the bare minimum of what I'm telling you overall with this strategy. At the end, we'll do a spawn point coverage for where you spawn on the DMZ map, Serpent Island. This map, or this strategy, does not work for Alcatraz Island. It is very difficult to do this on that map. So don't do it on that map at all, because you're probably going to die every time you spawn in on that map. That's just the way that it is, especially if you're somebody who has any levels of lag or anything like that. So starting off from my spawn point where I spawned at, I ran straight to these two safes here. Unfortunately, they had people who spawned even closer on the other side of the Serpent Island Hotel where I'm headed, and they're going to get there first, right? They have the closest spawn to it. They're getting there first. There's nothing I can do about that. Right here, you see me. I'm avoiding people, right? I know they're upstairs getting the safes. I just come down here with the bots, and the bots are lighting me up. It's not a big deal, though. There's also a guy, as you can see on the mini-map in the top right, who shot one of those sensor things that pings. So he knew my location because I pinged on it. And when that happens, run away. Pretty simple. Run away, right? If you are lagging in any way, maybe you're just not as good a player, you're going against people in your lobbies that have ultra guns, you know what I mean? You run into stuff like that, or a bunch of J358 with the ultra attachments, ultra Phoenix, ultra attachment Fennec, whatever that stuff is. If you're running into any of that stuff, just run away. You don't want any part of it, you know what I mean? I'm lagging too, right? Hence why I'm doing this strategy. I made these videos. Some of my most watched videos are where I pretty much tell people how to hit legendary and BR without playing the game at all, right? So this is kind of that for DMZ, right? I literally just ran face to face to a guy just now, which you just saw, and I ran away from him. So this strategy works, you know what I mean? Not everybody in DMZ is really out there trying to kill, you know what I mean, going for 20 kill games, right? Not everybody's Noah from YouTube, Little B, all these YouTubers who have time to play and they have good connection, they're on an iPad, all that good stuff. Not everybody's like that. And for those of us out there that aren't, this is what you can do to still enjoy the mode and have some level of success, right? So I completely got out of that sticky situation. All I had to use was 2 smokes and a couple of plates, and that's it, right? I haven't fired my gun at all this game. With this strategy, you don't need to spend any money on ammo because there's no reason for you to fire a gun. You're not really fighting anybody, right? The goal is not to fight anybody. Battle score in DMZ is the most just useless thing in DMZ. Like, you don't really get enough points for kills to make it worth fighting anyone, right? Because your bonus is tied to pretty much whether you extract or not. Honestly, if you extract, you get a bonus. If you don't extract, you don't get a bonus. And if you extract, you get points and you progress to legendary. If you don't extract, you don't get points, you don't progress to legendary. There you go. That's the mode in a nutshell. That's how it goes. Overall, I've pretty much explained everything I need to explain. Next up, let's talk about get materials as a contract. Now, I did a ranking every contract in COD Mobile video, and get materials was #1. It's basically corporate rivalry with no hassle at all. Corporate rivalry is the best contract in terms of how much you can get, but you are likely to die getting it every game, right? Unless you're in there with a bunch of people who are really good and they're going to kill everybody and kill all the AI and kill everything. You're probably dying in there because there's going to be 14 real teams in the ship. Like, it's going to be insane, right? It's just too much. Get materials is corporate rivalry, but with no hassle. There's no problems. You don't have to deal with no people. You can just pick it up out in the middle of nowhere, do it by yourself, and you don't have to worry about anybody being a problem to you. Absolutely phenomenal contract, right? I just picked up a mythic just now. I only got 1 mythic this time. I have picked up 2 ultras in 1 get materials contract before. You could absolutely just do nothing but that on the map and have a blast, in my opinion, right? I enjoy the looting, so that's just me. right? The looting and the economy score and the contract score, that is a better stepping stone to getting better at DMZ and getting more points in DMZ than killing anybody at all, right? You could come out of DMZ. I think my most is 9 kills. I think I had a battle score of like +6. I'm like, that's all I got? Like I killed 9 people, right? So that's 3 teams. I killed 3 teams by myself. I came out with +6 battle score. That's ridiculous, right? So I can't have that. There's no point in doing it. With the contracts, I have come out with +12 economy score, right? That's great. I mean, you come out with like 10 million, and I don't even know what you're getting, right? I've only had that once. They got like +15 maybe, but they've reiterated and like fixed how they do that, right? Your contract score, if you complete 3 get materials contracts, your contract score is going to go up by like 3 or 4 or 5, 6 points, right? If you do more contracts than that aren't get materials, then you're getting even more points, right? So it's really going to help you rank up. You don't have to go anywhere near any other people. There are certainly parts of the map, like where I'm at now. Once the team that spawns here in Serpent Town leaves, there's nobody here, right? And they probably aren't doing the contracts while they're here because they're going to go do the Quiji or they're going to go to the safes in Serpent Hotel. So you're here, you're by yourself, and you could sit here and do the contracts by yourself for 5 minutes and then get off the map, right? Now, let's say all of the things I've talked about don't happen, right? I get in that Serpent Hotel situation where all those guys are fighting me. The best case scenario in any game that you're in is that you just exfil immediately, right? You could literally spawn in and run to the other side of the map from you, exfil from there, and go about your day and go into your next game. And you'll come out with like, if you're master, you're coming out with like 20 points, right? If you're legendary, you're coming out with like, I don't know, 12. If you're grandmaster, you're probably coming out somewhere in between there, right? But that's still a plus, you know what I mean? That's way better than losing 20 points for your base score being negative and your extraction score being negative. So then you just come out with nothing, right? And you lose points. So the main thing with every DMZ game that you play, no matter how bad your connection is, no matter how bad you are with the game overall, whatever your extenuating circumstances are, you need to exfil every single game. That's a must-do, must-happen thing, right? I saw some gunshots over here. I'm hiding. I'm just back here chilling. I just pulled out my gun for the first time, like all game. You know what I mean? So now you know what guns I have. I'm not using them. I don't have any intentions of using them. I have an ultra gun. No desire to use my ultra gun at all. There's just no point. Like I'm not fighting anybody. Not really fighting the AI. Like I could just throw a smoke and get away from the AI. So you don't need a gun. Like this is like the no gun strategy. I should just name this that, to be honest with you. And then you just throw a couple of smokes, hop on the helicopter. You shoot the sensor dart here because if anybody is coming nearby, you're not getting on the helicopter. One of the biggest things about this that I haven't covered and that I need to for anybody, you do want to do this with random teammates. The reason you don't want to do this solo is because the get materials contract solo, when you play in the solo mode, you only get 1 box for the get materials contract, and then you get the 2 boxes you have to find. I think it might be 1 box that you have to find. So then you'd only get 2 chances to get, good loot from that. The contract kind of sucks at that point. Playing solo with randoms, you could see my randoms died back in like Kurohana Fortress or wherever they were. I couldn't care less. They're on their own, right? That you just got to deal with it, right? Like most of the time, that's just what's going to happen. Those people are on their own, right? Following this strategy, you're kind of on your own too, but it's easy to do. Like you just avoid everybody at all costs. That's pretty simple. You can see here, base score +8, that's fine. Battle score +0, contract event score +0. I only did 1 contract. I think you have to do 2 to get any points for that. Economy score +1, but the extraction score is a +10, so I come out with 19. This was the worst I could have possibly done. Like I can't really do much worse. I just kind of looted as I went, and that's it in the second half of the game, right? I tried to get the safe, didn't get the safe. You don't even really need to do that. I just kind of did it just to see if I could get there in time, but the other teams get a closer spawn to me, I'm kind of screwed, so I just got out, right? Here, this is another thing. I personally am just kind of keep 1 of every single thing that's in the loot, right? Just for the a picture I can take so I can kind of see how the loot progresses over the years of DMZ, essentially. So I'm keeping one of every single mythic and ultra item. That's just me. Everything else I delete for just cash, right? For refinement. I only do refinement. I don't do the crafting or all that crap. I think the crafting is stupid. I don't like it. I've kind of figured it out. I don't like it. It's stupid. But deleting all my legendaries, whether it's materials or whatever the other one is, just delete it all. It doesn't matter. That way I can accrue more money so I can refinement, and then I can get ultra armor, ultra backpacks. That being said, let's talk about the ammo. You don't need to buy ammo with this strategy. I didn't shoot a bullet the whole game, so you don't really need to spend your money on that. You can, obviously, just max it out, and then you'll never have to max it out again because you shouldn't really die. You know what I mean? You're just avoiding everyone, right? The main things are you need to have full plates, full smokes, because that's what you're going to use most of the game. If you get into any engagements with AI or you happen to run into real people. That being said, that pretty much explains what you should do. Call it the no gun strategy, the pacifist strategy, the I am lagging really bad and I can't get into gunfight strategy. Call it whatever you want. I suck at DMZ strategy, DMZ for dummies, whatever works for you guys. That's the strategy that this is. It works great for me. I have a blast doing it. And it's just fun. Enjoy the looting of the game. One of the big things, I've already made a short about this, top 5 things to loot, right? You're going to want to find toilets on Serpent Island, briefcases, the big silver boxes. If you get a safe, obviously a safe if you're close to one, but and then purses, definitely purses. Purse snatching is great because those have a lot of legendary loot in them. Here, I'm going to go over a little bit of the spawns real quick, and I'm just going to brush through this real fast. The worst spawn in the game for this strategy is right there where observatory is, that red dot. That's the worst spot to spawn because the only real thing you can do is just run immediately and get off the map. There's not really much you can loot in the way. You kind of have to run through a lot of people coming towards you. It's rough. If you are somebody that's going for Quiji, this is the only spawn I would actually do that with because you can immediately hit that extraction boat and you can be off the map sub 4 minutes, right? So by the time the other teams even get to the boat, you're ready to get off. Like you only have I think 68 seconds left is when I started getting into fights with people when I did that strategy. So that actually works. That's a whole nother video I could talk about with that when I get that specific spawn. Now, quickly going over the rest of these, that red dot by the Western District, you saw that. That was the spawn I had in this game. Go from one of those safes in Serpent Hotel. If you see footsteps, if you shoot your sensor and you see red dots, dip out, right? Except for the one red dot, that's the Wilson up top on the roof. Fortress, if you spawn a fortress, you should 100% get that safe, then stay on the bottom of the map all the way over to Serpent Town and extract over in Serpent Town. If you spawn in Serpent Town, you should 100% get that safe there if it's there. Do not go up to the beach area, you will die. Go down the bottom of the map over the Serpent's Fortress and extract over in that area. Finding get materials that you see on the way there. If you spawn in port, you're going to go straight down around the ship. Right, you can either swim around the ship or you can go down the road around the ship. Either one, whichever one works for you, and get off the map at the Kurahana base or at one of the paid ones here in the Eastern District. If you spawn in Refinery, you're basically going to follow that train area through Observatory, and you can either extract at the paid one or at the beach area. Worst case, if you run into trouble in the beach area, go to Serpent Town. Right, so basically, if you spawn on one side of the map, you have to extract on the other half of the map. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications if you want to. Let me know what you think about this strategy in the comments down below. It's been your boy Marcus Morstini. I'm out. Peace.